Welcome back to this channel. My name is Obinna Osweke. I welcome you back to our channel because you know this channel belongs to you and I. Okay? And on my previous post, I mentioned or I talked about strategies to get managers or a hospitality staff to be able to carry out or get committed to his priorities for his shift. I want to believe that you got value from that. And some of you might be asking, what qualifies this man? How is he able? What does he have to offer to us? Okay, just for those who are meeting me for the first time and those who don't really know so much about my background, I had my first degree in Ibe State University, and then I got a master's degree from University of Ibadan in 2018, and then from then I moved on to work with Airtel and ISON BPO as a customer service representative, where I learned a lot about customer service, which is what has qualified me to teach, to train people, and to get my staff to render excellent guest services in all the places I've worked previously and even where I work currently. All right. So today I'm going to be sharing to us tips on how you as a manager or even you as a hotel staff who is just newly employed can get used to or can get committed to using the hotel verbiages. Now in customer service, that is what we call verbiages. Now verbiages, they are words or they are phrases that a customer service officer, and in this case a hotel operative, either a cashier, a wait staff, an order taker, or depending on the role that the staff is taking, that interfaces with the customer, where the customer has to call through the intercom. There are some phrases that the hotel staff is meant to use. Now you don't just say anything you want to say on that call, especially at the first part of it. However, there are some structured phrases the staff is expected to use to respond to the guest while attempting to serve the guest. Now, those structured phrases are called verbiages. All right? Like in the hotel where I manage, all right, what we do is when a guest calls through the intercom, now the first thing you do, of course, this has rules, standard rules. Your intercom is not supposed to ring more than 3 times before you pick. I'm sure you know that, but if you don't know, of course you know today. All right. So your intercom rings not more than 3 times. Then the moment you pick up the call, you're going to greet. All right. You pick up the call. You say, "Good day. This is reception. My name is Obinna. How may I serve you?" Now, this is a verbiage. And then one thing we've noticed about this is that most staff, especially when they are new, now remember, this is not just employing a staff and throwing them into the system without training. No. At this point, some managers and some hotels are very good with the onboarding process. Of course, you do your recruitment, selection, and all of that. Then you start the onboarding process where you're going to train the staff, rules and regulations, the policies, and all the SOPs that the staff is supposed to follow. And then we still realize that after doing all of that for some of the new staff or the new operative, all right, they are still not able to respond accurately to the guest. What do you do? Because at this point, you have done everything you're supposed to do as a manager, either as a human resource manager, either as a line manager, or the head of department. You've trained, you've taught, you've given manual, you've gone through the manual with them, you've gone through the SOP manual and all of that. The staff knows this. The staff knows that this is available. But when it comes to picking the calls or interacting with the guest, then they begin to fumble. They begin to make mistakes, or they don't even use those verbiages at all, thereby creating a bad guest service. Because for hotels, we have what we call standard operating procedure, which are SOPs. Now, when operative A is attending to a guest, apart from using emotional intelligence, which is part of the skill of a hotel staff, there are some standard processes that the staff is supposed to take the guest through, which makes the service look very, very structured. The guests will not actually have so much difference from the staff that attended to them in the previous shift and the staff that is attending to them in the current shift. So that is standardization for hotels. All right, so such verbiages, how do you get your staff, your new operatives, to stick to it? Now, there is a strategy I learned, and I've been using it, and it has been working absolutely well. So what do? If you have a verbiage, if you have a phrase, if you have key pleasantries, apart from cordial and courteous interactions that the staff is supposed to have with a guest to give them excellent guest service, these structured phrases are meant to be used consistently at any time the guest calls. So what I did was I realized that if I don't guide the operative, especially the new operative, even when you have done shadow posting, they've been around, they've monitored what the other staff is doing so that they can learn from it. The moment they get into the job, and even if after you have done all the role plays that you can do, which is very, very important, the moment they step into the job, they also get confused. Now, you don't blame them. Of course you don't. As a good manager, part of your job is to train your staff to the point where they become effective. And once you've not done that, you do not have the right to blame them. So what do? What I do is at that intercom, at that place where they are supposed to pick the guest call, I will go and type out or write in bold letters those verbiages that the staff is supposed to use to respond to the guest. Guess what that happens? I'll simply tell them, once the call comes in, before you pick the call, take a look at the write-up of that verbiage right in front of you. As you're taking the call, you're looking at it. You can start reading from there for a start. And guess what? When they take that call once, twice, 3 times, in a week's time, that new operative becomes acquainted, internalizes those verbiages, and then smoothly transitions to having courteous and cordial interactions with the guest in a bid to serve them better. All right? So I want to believe that this tip is going to help you. It's going to help you. And I want to believe that this tip, if you apply it in your hotel as a manager or as an operative, you're going to be able to render better customer service. So if you like this, I want you to like this video and subscribe, and of course share to your friends, share to your colleagues, share to your manager, even share to the owners of the businesses, so that they can use this to render better services for their guests. Thank you so much for joining me today. And of course, like I promised us, I'll be sharing more tips, and in time to come, or even in the comment section, if you have any area that you feel that you need clarity on how to run your hotel effectively in the area of cost or budgeting or SOPs or services rendered to your guests, feel free to ask in the comment section, and then I will pick it up and I will treat it in one of the episodes. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.